The best recruiting class in the ACC is looking for more. Florida State is off to a 4-0 start, and things are finally taking shape for the Noles in Mike Norvell's fourth season. In this video, we're going to talk about how FSU would like to finish out their 2024 recruiting class, and it involves some big flips in the trenches, specifically on the offensive line. We're going to get into it in a minute, but first, FSU fans, hit that subscribe button for me. We're starting this On3 Recruits channel, and some of you followed me in the FSU market for the last 12 years. So jump on board with the On3 Recruits channel. Hit that subscribe button. All right, let's bring on Sam Spiegelman, National Recruiting Analyst. And Sam, FSU OC Alex Atkins already has a solid class with 4 committed on that front line, including top 100 OT Jonathan Daniels out of Pensacola, but they want more. And we're taking a look at FSU flip targets. 4-star interior offensive lineman Jason Zandel, who's committed to USC. Kavian Brossard, offensive tackle, committed to Miami. Ory Williams out of Texas, and he's committed to LSU. And then you got Jude Foster, interior offensive lineman, committed at Ole Miss. Now, Sam, you wrote an article on 3 this week talking about some of these guys, so let's just start right there at the top. Jason Zandel is an in-state prospect that FSU missed on. He commits to USC at the end of spring. What are you hearing on his recruitment now to FSU?
Yeah, well, you mentioned it. FSU is already a finalist for Zandel. They have not let up on that front. Obviously, USC is having a great season. So is Florida State. This is one to watch all the way to the end. I don't think Florida State is going to let up until this one is completely over with.
All right. I don't think so either. They've already flipped one USC offensive line target, Mase Itit, and also going after Zandel. So we'll got to see what happens with Florida State and if they can flip Zandel, but they are trying. And they also got that official visit in their back pocket. Zandel has not taken one to FSU yet, so I think this is one where if they're going to do it, they'll get him in on an official visit down the road. All right, moving on to offensive tackle Kavian Brossard. Now, he's committed to rival Miami. He's out of the state of Louisiana. You recently ran into him, Sam. What's the intel there?
Yeah, you're talking about someone that Florida State is taking a look at, having a great senior season for one of the Louisiana powerhouses, Zachary High School outside of Baton Rouge. Kavian committed to Miami without ever visiting Coral Gables. He's obviously since been to Miami and, getting comfortable with the Canes. That has not stopped Florida State from continuing to evaluate the situation, continuing to poke interest at the rival ACC commit. He's expected to get to campus at some point, and this is a situation to monitor, especially as FSU looks to continue to add depth at the offensive tackle position.
All right, the next name on the list now, I didn't really see this one coming. Ory Williams out of the state of Texas. He's a 3-star offensive tackle, massive frame, committed to LSU. What's going on there? Is FSU involved?
Yeah, this is another senior eval for Florida State. Again, looking to add depth at offensive tackle, we know is a premium position, and FSU can't get enough of them. Ory Williams has been locked into LSU. He committed to the Tigers over Georgia and Florida a little bit earlier. But again, as Florida State looks to add more on the edge of their offensive line, this is a name to watch to see if he'll get to campus at some point before this thing is over.
And then we're going to move to the interior. One more guy I want to cover, 3-star interior offensive lineman Jude Foster. He's a people mover, and he's committed to Ole Miss. What are you hearing there in terms of where FSU stands with Jude Foster?
Yeah, well, we talked at the top about Zandel, and that's obviously their top guy that they're looking to add on the interior of the offensive line. Jude Foster is just another name to watch. He's been committed to Ole Miss for several months. Obviously, Ole Miss is having a great season. He's from Louisiana, and so is Alex Atkins and a lot of members of that Florida State staff. Again, having a really good senior season for Baton Rouge Southern Lab, expected to go deep into the playoffs. He's a name to watch as FSU looks to continue to add numbers in the trenches.
All right, well, that's it for In the Trenches flips, but we got a bonus flip for you because Sam was in the state of Louisiana earlier this week, and he checked in with top 100 quarterback Wardell Mack. Now, Mack's committed to the Florida Gators, but after talking to him, Sam, is there reason to believe he's a legit flip target for the Seminoles?
Yeah, listen, Wardell Mack made a very surprising decision to commit to Florida over Texas, Florida State, LSU in July. I think it caught a lot of people off guard, but Billy Napier, Corey Raymond, and Jabbar Jalouk were recruiting the four-star DB extremely hard. Florida State probably finished second in July. Since then, Wardell Mack has no-showed to Texas. He was supposed to be there in September. LSU is going in a different direction with their secondary class here in 2024. Florida State has not stopped pursuing Wardell Mack. We already know that they have a star-studded DB group headlined by Charles Lester of the in-state guys. Obviously, KJ Bolden, when you're talking about 5 stars, the number 1 safety in the country out of Buford, Georgia. They're continuing to press Wardell Mack, who is expected to visit next month when Miami comes into town. David Johnson was over at his high school and at his game last week. We know that Pat Surtain is another guy with New Orleans ties. And know this, Josh, Mike Norvell has taken a lead role in recruiting Wardell Mack. The same method that Billy Napier got the commitment from Wardell Mack over the summer. Let's see how Mike Norvell does and tries to sway this very solid Florida commit toward the end. He will make at least one more visit before this is all said and done.
Yeah, FSU's sitting in a good spot right now, leading the ACC in recruiting with the top 10 class, and also just trying to add a couple more pieces. Like you said, probably 1 or 2 more offensive linemen, 1 or 2 more DBs. And, you know, there's definitely more flip targets out there. I'm sure FSU fans right now in the comment section are saying, well, there's others. Yes, we know Jeremiah Smith. We know about Cameron Fountain. We know about wide receiver JoJo Trader. But today, we were focused on the trenches. And this weekend, FSU will host Virginia Tech at home. We'll have a video coming up later this week on more expected visitors that are headed to Tallahassee. Remember, 5-star defensive lineman LJ McCray, official visit this weekend. We'll have more as it happens. Sam, thanks for dropping by the Inside Scoop.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.